Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone. Please click on that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, without further ado, let's kick it. Are you jabronis paying attention? Are you jabronis paying attention? Because it's time. The Rock responds to Cody Rhodes' challenge and acknowledges Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick it. So Roman Reigns kicks off Friday Night SmackDown in Glendale, Arizona, and demands the crowd acknowledge him. And the crowd, those fucking jabronis, those crackheads out in Arizona, just didn't acknowledge our tribal chief properly, and he was gonna leave. Roman has clearly become a master on the microphone. The way he conveys his feelings, the way that he expresses himself is so much better than when he started off many years ago. I remember the last time I was actually really following him or following wrestling was back when Seth cashed in Money in the Bank. When I looked at Roman 10 years ago to where I see him now, and even though I have seen him in matches, I haven't necessarily seen him on the mic. Roman has dramatically improved on the mic. The way he conveys his emotions, the way he uses his facial gestures, the way he pauses and just controls the crowd, the psychology behind it is just amazing. And I'll be honest with you, the way that he conveyed his emotions and the way that he was controlling that crowd in Glendale, Arizona, hats off to him. I remember they paired him up with Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman was going to be the one speaking for him, and he has developed those microphone skills. He has developed that control, and it is hats off to him. That is why he is the tribal chief, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be acknowledging him in this episode. And then Paul Heyman, in all of his glory, starts to introduce The Rock. And when he introduces The Rock, Roman looks dissatisfied at either the Phoenix crowd or Paul Heyman's praise towards The Rock. And if it's his praise towards The Rock, is it because in many people's eyes, we all think and see that The Rock is the true tribal chief, is the true head of the table? Then, and finally, we get the Hollywood Rock come out in his Versace jacket. And immediately the crowd goes crazy. And while The Rock is coming out, Roman doesn't even bother to turn and look at them. Rock finally gets in the ring and begins to cook the Arizona crowd, claiming that they are the #1 consumers of heroin and crack cocaine in all of America, and also claiming that the woman in the arena wanted to go one-on-one with the Great One. With that being said, that was a classic heel Rock move, ladies and gentlemen, and when he started to cook the crowd, I started to go crazy. I was jumping up and down in my seat. I was biting my fist. I was like, Lord, give me more, give me more. Rock is, oh my God, I'm so happy he is now heel. He's embraced heel Rock because I think he is so much better as heel Rock. At babyface Rock has been a little bit too stale for me. Heel Rock, cooking the crowd. Finally, our lives have meaning, ladies and gentlemen, because he is back and he is cooking. And oh my God, the control The Rock has over the crowd, it's just masterful. He's been gone for so long, and then to just come back, pause. What he says, when he speaks, he takes his sweet time, he prolongs it. And then when he finally has to address the crowd, he finally finishes roasting the crowd, and he finally needs to make the point that he needs to make. He makes you wait more. He controls the level of the crowd's emotions, and it's just beautiful. It's masterful. This is why The Rock, in my opinion, is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's one of my favorites, even though I didn't get to see him wrestle back in the Attitude Era. I became a fan of his afterwards when we were going through the John Cena was the face of the company era. I went back and I fell in love with this documentary, and then I went back and when the WWE Network came out, and I rewatched essentially all of the Attitude Era because that era was magnificent. I recommend you guys go check that out on Peacock. Finally, The Rock addresses Cody Rhodes' challenge and counters with a potential tag team match between himself, Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, with the stipulation that if Cody and Rollins win, the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy J, whoever is a part of the Bloodline, Paul Heyman, the Wise Man, The Rock, nobody interferes. They would get lawyers, they get everybody involved, they would sign a contract and nobody would interfere. And if they did, essentially the stipulation would, I'm assuming, be that if somebody interfered, Cody would then become the champion. But the counter was, if The Rock and Reigns, or when The Rock and Reigns won, that the Bloodline would set up the stipulation for the match. Once The Rock finishes with the counteroffer, he's about to hit the crowd with his iconic, "If you smell," get stopped. Get stopped by Roman. And then the Wise Man hands him the microphone and he says, "I need something from you. I need you to do it." There's a long pause where The Rock and Roman just face each other eye to eye, with The Rock still having his shades off, taking the shades off, looking Roman face to face, eye to eye. And then he finally says, "Roman Reigns, I acknowledge you as my tribal chief." Then when that segment ends, or before that segment fully ends, we see the entire Bloodline, including The Rock, put their finger up to acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief. But like I said in the last clip, if you paid attention on the last time The Rock was on SmackDown, when he held his finger up to acknowledge the Bloodline, to show that he was a part of the Bloodline, he held an L. And again this time, he held an L again before he did this. And if you paid attention, the Wise Man noticed The Rock had this and then this. Ladies and gentlemen, there are layers to this story, the psychology behind this. And I really hope we do not get a tag team match between The Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody, because to be completely honest with you, Seth has his own storyline to get into with Drew, and I feel like having Seth involved in this is just, there's no need for Seth. I feel like Seth is an extra in this storyline that isn't necessarily needed for Cody. What I would love to see is Cody versus The Rock night 1, with the stipulation that if Cody wins, then winner of that match faces Roman Reigns night 2 for the Universal title, or we get for the main event of WrestleMania night 2, biggest one, where it should be the big one, where you want to end off with a banger. We get Cody versus Roman versus The Rock. That would be a moneymaker. That would get me. That would make so much money, and that would make so much more sense, because you got The Rock versus Roman, because The Rock is the true head of the table, and to be completely honest, I feel like he's just leading Roman on until he stabs him. This can play out in so many different ways. I could even see Damian Priest cashing in the Money in the Bank at the end of the match, just to give fans more of a jab in the back. But to be completely honest, this segment was fire. I thought it was incredible, and I'm so excited to see where things go from here. Guys, you're watching a Shady Mob production. Make sure to follow the Shady Mob podcast, where we break down all of our favorite content and talk about life. Please make sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to empowering with positivity. This segment is usually a life advice segment that I like to give you guys. Always try to close off on a positive note. However, this segment today will not be about that. I'd like to announce the Shady Mob podcast channel is finally live. Please go check out some of the content currently posted on the channel as we try to expand our reach. Our mission with the Shady Mob production is to produce quality content for everyone to consume and eventually grow to a point where we can start giving back to the world. We want to leave a positive impact on the world, and we're really trying to grow this so we can give back to the community and give back to you guys. So please like, comment, share, subscribe so you can be notified when the latest content does drop, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to some announcements. So if you guys have noticed recently, my podcast episodes have scaled back in length because it is better for your consumption. You guys will usually watch the entire episode if it's closer to 15 to 20 minutes than if it is closer to 30 to 45. Single topic based episode. So we are literally just going to go over a single topic. It's a lot easier for me to just edit and then post it and get you guys the content that I know you guys like and appreciate. I hope you guys have gone back and noticed all the changes that have occurred through my YouTube journey, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content that I am bringing you guys. Guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and please go like, comment, subscribe, follow, share this with everybody that you know. Make some money with my picks, listen to my sports takes, or just watch for some positivity. I'm going to be covering wrestling. You guys just watch the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone. And can you smell what the king is cooking? Stay tuned for more, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.